Number two students, for Mr. Fry, I'm looking at type of systems for the following problems without graphing. Determine each system as independent, dependent, or inconsistent. So I have the odd ones that I'm doing here. Go ahead and try the even ones. If you make mistakes, learn from it. You're making progress. So for the first one, it's pretty easy. It's already set up for you to where I can get rid of these this 2x here by just adding these two equations together. And I have 2x minus 2x, so that gets rid of my x. I have 2y equals 5 minus 1 would be 4. So I divide both sides by 2, and I get y equals 2. That's nice. I didn't have to rearrange anything for that one. And so I go ahead and plug in my 2 in to either one of these. I ended up doing both just to show you that it doesn't matter which one you plug it into, you'll get the same answer. And in both of these, I get my x as 3 over 2. So 3 halves is my x value. How did I get that? Once again, I plugged in my y value in for 2. So this first equation, 2 equals 2x minus 1. That's why I have 2 equals 2x minus 1. Okay, now you can see I plugged in the 2 here for the second equation and just solve for x. I end up getting one solution. The one solution is 3, that one solution, the point would be 3 halves and 2. That would be my one solution, my x and my y value coordinate where these two lines would be crossing. That's the solution. So remember in the video, hopefully you watched Mr. Fry's videos, we had a nice lady explaining what all this means. One solution problem means consistent and independent. So consistent and independent, and these are from those notes. If you have one solution, it's consistent, independent. Many solutions, it's consistent, dependent, and no solution, inconsistent, and independent. And some examples of one solution, no solution, many solution, and she actually worked out she did a one solution, she worked out some problems on that, and then she did using the elimination, what we just did, the elimination method, then many solutions example there, and no solution example there. So those are from your notes. So that's where I'm getting these answers from, okay, of how to answer, as consistent and independent. So for number 4 or 3, for number 3, we have to change the equation. You have to manipulate equations in order for it to do what you want it to do. So, I'm going to multiply these by a negative 1.5. That's why I have in parentheses this whole equation. I'm going to multiply each term by negative 1.5 so that I was just looking at the 6. I saw a 6 here, and I know 4 times 1.5 is 6. And if I make it a negative, that will make it a negative 6x, and so I could get rid of my x's, right? Well, then I went on and I multiplied everything else by a negative 1.5 as I needed to. And it changed this to a negative 12 and changed this to a 9. So this 8 became negative 12, this negative 6 became 9. So what happens is, when you put these two equations together, I end up with 0. This is 0, this is 0, and this is 0. So 0 equals 0. That's a many solutions. So anything that you put in there, it'll work, because what does that mean? That means they're both the same line. They're both essentially the same line. So any point you pick on the line is going to satisfy both of these lines. Okay? So that means consistent and dependent. It's consistent and it's dependent. Okay, for number 5, I changed the top one and I multiplied everything by 2. When I multiplied everything by 2, what happened is my 3x became 6x. And that's what I was looking at. First of all, I had to change this one. Notice I had to change it to bring that 6x over on this side of the equation, so that's why I wrote it that way. And so, I was just looking at, okay, I want my I have a negative 6x down here, I'm just going to make that 6x so I can get rid of my x's, right? Well, when I multiplied, negative 2 times 2 becomes negative 4. And negative 2 times 2 is negative 4. So this became 0 and this became 0. So I have 0, 0 on this side, so just 0. And then this became 18, or 16. Sorry, 16. And this is, still my negative 5. So 16 minus 5 is 11. So I have 0 equals 11. No, it doesn't. So that's a no solution. And no solution is inconsistent and independent. Use your notes for 2, 4, and 6. And if you haven't watched that video, go back.